But what in though?
I mean, civil disobedience is what the protests were.
You want change.
So deal with those people in the middle of the day while they're at work.
Yeah,
Not on the highlight reel, right? There's your truth, there's my truth, and the truth.
Okay, as I was saying before, I was on my Facebook earlier, and there's a lot of different perspectives to what's going on. But this is my take on it, and it's a little bit not about that particular situation, but I seen something earlier on Facebook and I made a post about it. And my thing is, in these situations, I'm tired of the fake solidarity. You had the NBA earlier that said they weren't going to finish the season because they were going to stand in solidarity against police brutality. I believe it was less than 24 hours later, they turned around and said that they're going to continue the season. So here's my thing. In these times, especially in Black society, it's critical that if people are going to be allies, that they take it seriously, because we can go back and forth about different situations that are going on. But I think the premise of this is getting lost in all the different things that are going on. The reality of the situation is we've been doing this same song and dance for 5, 6 decades after the civil rights movement. We're still in the same situation.
Like a season, right?
Yes.
If you I read an article today that said that Kyrie Irving was 100% accurate about saying they should not have continued the season. They shouldn't have gone to Orlando and did the bubble. And he was absolutely right, because he said we shouldn't be doing this because we should be out here focusing on social issues.
Exactly.
That's what we should be out here doing. We shouldn't be playing the season. We shouldn't be continuing this on. This is important. We're like, the majority of the NBA is all people of color. Like, this affects all of us, to our kids, to our cousins and other family members and friends and close people. We should be out here on the front lines of this fight, and putting us in the bubble. It's kind of like y'all taking us away from that fight.
Well, that's just the reality. That's just the issue, because someone came into my comment section after I posted how they flip-flop and said, for people who are used to having a lot of money, they're not going to risk it all. And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean risk it all? This situation is bigger to our community than any amount of money. Because at the end of the day, it's either we're going to live together or we're not. It's either we're going to live together peacefully, or everything's going to go up. Everything's going to get tore down, and there will be no money and anything to worry about, because there won't be any nation. If we continue down this road, the country will cease to exist. So my thing of it is, if people can't just stop in their tracks for a moment and let's deal with this situation, and let's deal with it organically and realistically, and stop doing these little trends of solidarity. I see a lot of people, when this issue is trending, everybody jumps on board. When things settle down, everybody kind of goes back into their little spaces. We're about to miss a huge opportunity to finally make some real change. If people keep dancing around the issues, obviously it's very difficult to deal with. It is. But the reality of the situation is that this is not going to stop until people actually want it to stop. Black people in particular. It's like, we have to put a stop to this, and we have to do it realistically. No more fake, phony organizations like Black Lives Matter. None of that. We have to deal with this realistically, organically, from a grassroots level. And people need to stop doing this as a trend, because I'm seeing a lot of that, especially with the NBA and the NFL players. It's like, yes, they are Black men, but realistically speaking, they don't live the lifestyle of an everyday average Black person. You know, it's very easy for them to go hide in their mansion somewhere where people are out here in the trenches really going through this. So my thing is, you're either with us or you're not. Because speaking for myself, I take this seriously. I've been taking this seriously before the hashtags, before it was trending, before Twitter, before any of this, because this is something that has affected my family personally. We've been dealing with this for decades. So my thing is, if you're going to be here and you're going to be serious about it, fine. But all these fake shows of solidarity and doing it because it's trending, we're going to be back in the same cycle that we've been in for generation after generation after generation. So at this point, it's time for people to get serious. If you're not serious about it, go sit down. Don't pretend to be. And if you want to get some real change done, it's going to have to be done from a place of truth. Because I'm getting really ticked off. And like I said, if anybody was on my Facebook today, they could see it was going up in there. I'll be back on there tonight. So if anybody wants some smoke, they can come on over. But realistically, I think it's time to stop playing games. We have to get serious about putting the final pin in this situation, because it can change if people realistically want it to. It's no more time for playing games, because like I said, we're going to miss a big opportunity to actually get real change if people keep on doing this as a trend.
This is my thing. There's a YouTube video blogger that I used to watch a lot of his videos back in the day. He goes by the name of Hot Damn I Rock. And it's normally like relationships and like shit men do, like things we think and all that. And they're really lighthearted and they're funny. But then the whole Freddie Gray incident happens. I think the man lived in Baltimore, and he spoke on that. And he said that we're not going to be able to get what we want because we don't have a defined leader. Nobody is strong enough or willing to take that risk of take them shots getting fired at them to stand up front and be like, yo, I'm in charge of this. This is what we want. This is what we're going. There's no leadership. There's no direction. Some people have ideas of what they want. They say like, oh, we want defund the police, or we want this, we want that. But there's no real leadership. There's no real unity. There's no real direction in what's going until there's that one person that stands up and says, look, this is what we should do. This is what we want. And this is how we want it. We're not going to be able to achieve what we're looking for. It's just going to be, like you said, another trend, another hashtag, another moment of solidarity. And then everybody just goes back to what it is.
Financial opportunity for a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people
I mean,
are expecting this moment.
Unfortunately, they're trying to capitalize.
I mean, like right now I'm in the process of making up a lot of shirts and merch for the show and all the guys and everything like that. The one thing that I refuse to do is try to capitalize on any Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, anything like that, because it doesn't need to be said, and I don't need to make money off of that. I don't want money that way. I don't think you guys want money that way. I mean, I would rather be out in the streets and fighting the cause than sitting here and raising money for it.
Well, there's a number of things that's going to have to take place. And speaking from within the Black community, there's going to need to be a culture shift. We're going to have to start taking this situation a lot more seriously than we have been. And it's not that we haven't been taking it seriously, but we haven't been taking it seriously to the extent that we are demanding change and not just asking for it. It's a big difference between when you say no, no more, and when you kind of just do enough to slow things down, but then a month from now, you're right back to where you started. There's some real work that's going to have to be done. And I think that as far as leaders go, leaders are good, but we've had several leaders. And the thing about the leader thing is everybody's going to have to be a leader within their own right to a certain extent, because leaders can be removed and then you're back to square one.
Preach.
People have to take this seriously, like they take waking up every morning, going to work, taking care of their families. This is something that will continue to affect my community for several generations if it's not fixed. And what bothers me is that people are flip-flopping. Like I said before, it's either you're with us and you want real change, or you're not. If you're not, then go sit down and don't say anything. You can be neutral, whatever. Just don't pretend that you want to be part of something that is not going to be easy to change, because at the end of the day, when things get more real, then you're going to go running. And that's not how we're going to get change. It's just not. And like I said before, I'm getting very frustrated because I feel like people are treating this like a trend, or people are exploiting this situation. Let's just be real. Those people couldn't have even been out there. There would be no George Soros or anybody if it wasn't attached to real life situations that are being exploited. So we get rid of this issue, then those people go away. And that's just the bottom line about it.
Miss Shelley, you're so powerful.
Thank
No,
you.
that's serious. I'm not patronizing. Like, I get captivated by your voice because you have reason mixed with logic, and those two are not the same sometimes because people can give bad reasons.
You got a really nice tone, so it's easy to listen to. Like, it's
Yeah,
catchy.
she's easy on the eyes, Lucci. Shut up. Man, I look forward. I went by the house the other day, to speak with Dre, and I look forward to meeting you in person. I know you don't know me yet, but I see through it all. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and everything you said, I validate from the other side. It's real. I'm a knife in your tool belt. Let me know what I can do. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to turn this back over to Dre. Let me get out of his chair.
All right. We
I don't know what
appreciate you
happened
coming
with
on
my
the show.
connection. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very spotty.
I don't know. I usually don't have a problem. I'm in the same area all the time. But all right, guys.
Got any
Thank you
final
for listening to my rant. Yeah, before I go, everybody, like I said, we have a window of opportunity right now where people are paying attention. We can either fumble this opportunity, or we can use it to do something meaningful and be able to live together in peace and real solidarity. So everybody just keep that in mind. Like I said, it's easy to exploit a situation when there's no genuine backing behind it. But if people come together with a common goal and they're serious about it, I believe that's when we're going to begin to see real change.
I concur.
Before you go, Miss Shelley, what is your show's name? Where can we find you?
Shelley Speaks Truth. I'm still on YouTube, but I'm going to be making my way over to Urban Country Films real soon.
Outstanding.
You do both. They may both blow up. It just my opinion.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, Miss Lady.
So real quick, everybody, just remember to try to understand each other and don't be a dick. And Bill said tomorrow, I'm not getting paid, but you guys should listen to them and be excellent to each other.
And party
Forever.
the fuck on.
Rock
yeah.
on.
Urban Country
you
Films,
know
y'all.
me.
Go ahead.
I'm 7th Ave, voice of the streets. 2 watches, so I always know what time it is. You can find me on Facebook, The 7th Ave. You can find me on Twitter, at @Ab_7. You can find me possibly on Instagram. I don't know. You gotta look. I might be there somewhere. But holla at your boy. Got the merch line coming soon. I love my life. I love myself. I'm not suicidal, and I love kittens.
He actually does love kittens. I'll bust his chops for all those people out there that try to make you feel bad for disagreeing with him. Like, well, so and so, blah, blah, blah. So that being said, I'm going to plug myself. My spinoff show has not started yet, but it will be called Memento Mori. Coming soon. It's going to be called Memento Mori with Professor Vinny. Memento Mori, for those of you that don't understand Latin or have never heard that phrase, means remember that you're going to die, so live today.
That's a lot of things to mix up into one little word, my G.
It's a powerful word.
Kittens.
It's a powerful word. It's 10 o'clock, so let's close it off. But what I do want to say to anybody that out there that might have stuck with us all the way to this point, be great. Be fucking great.